What if the future of leadership is not faster computing, but deeper listening? What if the measure of power becomes the capacity to repair, to hold complexity, to steward community, to design technology that honors human dignity? Tonight, I want to bring you a proposition. The AI era asks not only for smarter machines, but for more soulful leaders. Stick around. We're going to move from diagnosis to practice, from moral urgency to practical tools you can use tomorrow. And if you're ready to lead differently, like and subscribe. We'll do this together. Always thank you. We live in an era of spectacular capability. Models translate languages, uncover patterns in oceans of data, and suggest policies faster than committees can convene. That speed seduces us. We begin to trust outputs rather than people, dashboards rather than dialogue. But speed without wisdom is brittle. Efficiency focused on throughput amplifies inequality, erodes trust, fragments community. Pause. Ask yourself, when was the last time a spreadsheet made you feel seen? When did a dashboard comfort a frightened teacher, a grieving parent, or a frontline nurse? The problem is not AI per se. The problem is leadership that treats AI as a magic wand, not as an instrument nested within moral practice. That is the gap. We have algorithms, but not always the emotional, ethical, and civic scaffolding to use them well. Soulful leadership is not mystical fluff. It is practical competence that weaves together three engines I use in my work: EEQ, emotional and ethical intelligence; AIQ, AI-augmented intelligence; and SSQ, social and sustainable intelligence. Together they form a power matrix. EEQ teaches us how to listen, to hold tension, to honor dignity. AIQ teaches us how to interpret model outputs, how to design transparent systems, and how to operationalize algorithms responsibly. SSQ binds those gifts to justice: who benefits, who is harmed, who is invited to the table. Leadership that lacks any one of these pillars becomes either cold technocracy, sentimental activism, or efficient extraction. The real leader learns to balance, measure the heat maps of your city, and then ask, who is living on those blocks? And then design funding instruments, so they don't get displaced when we plant trees. Let's be concrete. We see it everywhere. AI hiring tools that reproduce bias, predictive policing systems that harden disadvantage, attention-first product design that trades psychological time for profit. These are not distant hypotheticals. They are policy decisions dressed as software updates. A true leader notices not only the metrics, but the stories behind them, the student whose attendance slides because an algorithm reroutes outreach elsewhere, the care home manager whose budget is slashed because a cost optimizer decided human contact was non-essential. These are the seams where ethics must enter design. Here are 3 tactical habits I teach in leadership labs. They are simple to describe, hard to do well, and utterly transformative when practiced. A. The listening loop. Before deploying any new AI, convene a rapid listening lab. 8 to 12 people drawn from the communities likely to be affected: students, nurses, caretakers, shopkeepers. Ask, what would success look like for you? Let their words shape the design constraints. This is not tokenism, it's pre-mortem ethical engineering. B. The explainability ritual. Require every model to be accompanied by a 1-page plain English explainer, inputs, expected harms, who can override. Make it public. Teach non-technical leaders how to read it. Make it a rule that no product goes live without a human override and a privacy impact review. C. The equity warranty. Every project must include an equity warranty, a finance commitment to prevent displacement, a local hiring quota, or a repair fund. This is how we guard against green gentrification and data colonization. These are policies, yes, but they are also moral habits. We must routinize humility. Imagine a city pilot. An AI forecasts heat risk and recommends where to plant shade trees. Technical teams want to prioritize downtown commercial corridors, high impact by temperature drop. Soulful Leadership asks, who will be pushed out by rising property values? We convene the listening loop: elders, small shop owners, park volunteers. They point to elders who cannot travel to new cooling centers. The model is reweighted. We plant first in heat-vulnerable housing blocks, create maintenance trusts paid by green bonds, and train local residents as canopy stewards. Outcome: measured heat reduction, lower emergency calls, and livelihoods created. The leader's job was to hold the social contract while the algorithm did the math. Leadership that orients only to quarterly returns will find itself morally bankrupt and politically irrelevant. Soulful Leadership asks not what can we scale, but what must we preserve. Purpose is the North Star. It shapes procurement, product roadmaps, and partnerships. Mindful innovation asks us to ask 3 unglamorous questions before every launch. Who benefits? Who might be left behind? How will we repair harm? If you cannot answer them honestly, do not ship. We need new curricula. Not only data science and ethics courses, but EEQ labs, role plays that train leaders to hold difficult conversations, to tolerate dissent, to practice apology and repair. We need AI literacy in every ministry and SSQ in every boardroom. This is the work of institutions, schools, civic academies, and leadership programs that equip people for a hybrid moral technical life. At Change Academy, we run micro-masterclasses that combine scenario design, ethical pre-mortems, and community co-design. These are not electives. They should be core competencies for anyone who stewards public life. Policy must be baked into procurement and regulation, explainability clauses, data sovereignty rules, maintenance funds for social infrastructure. Create sunsetting authorities for experimental AI. Nothing runs forever without review. Fund independent audits and community-led monitoring. And remember, law alone is insufficient. Norms and culture must also be shaped. Always convene the listening loop before design. Publish plain English explainers with every launch. Fund long-term maintenance trusts for social goods. Build human override into every automated decision. Privilege marginalized voices in metrics of success. Teach EEQ alongside AIQ in every leadership program. Design with reversibility. Make changes undoable if harms appear. Require independent ethics audits for high-impact systems. Create public forums for repair and redress. Anchor every project in a purpose statement that survives leadership transitions. These are not theoretical. They are the scaffolding for institutions that endure. This is not a lament. It is an invitation. The machines are remarkable, and we must learn their grammar. But grammar alone does not make poetry. Human beings, messy, contradictory, brilliant, must still author our futures. If you are a leader, commit to 1 listening loop this month. If you are a technologist, Publish one plain English explainer. If you are a citizen, ask about the equity warranty in your neighborhood projects. We can design a future where intelligence is fluid and tender, where algorithms serve dignity and not just dollars. That is the audacious work of our time. If this conversation landed with you, click like, share with a colleague who needs it, and subscribe for weekly tools to build soulful institutions. Tell me in the comments, which commitment will you make this week? I will read the sharpest answers and respond. Always thank you. Dr. Elena Carruba. Join the Change Academy, EEQ, AIQ, SSQ. Download the 7-point audit in the description. Subscribe for the Power Matrix workbook. See you next time.